This question is a good reminder that sometimes we need to look beyond the sentence that includes the vocab word just to get a little bit more context about what it might be about. In this case, the phrase "in fact" is a kind of a good hint for what we mean by when we say illusion here, right? There's the illusion that happiness is simply about having the biggest house or the fastest car, right? We think one thing. In fact, it's actually different. There's little correlation between happiness and net worth. So that's kind of showing us there's a little bit of a contrast here. So that's going to help us find, I think, the right word, that there's some sort of misconception, right? We think of it one way, but that is wrong to do that. That's just like what a misconception is. And maybe you anticipated that that would be the word we'd use, but I want to talk about these other answer choices as well. First of all, the trick, like an illusion could be a trick, but there's no trick here. No one is being lied to or deceived. It's just we're wrong about something, right? So trick is a little bit stronger, it goes a little bit further, and we don't have context to support that kind of word. It's definitely not a dream. You probably have that idea. Now, I know why some people would put it is we dream that, yes, we'll have the biggest house and the fastest car, but here they're just talking about it more of as like a basic idea, right? An idea that we have that's wrong, but still just an idea. It is not something we hope for. And then mirage is like what you see in the desert, right? When it's really hot and it looks like there's water. So it's a very specific meaning, and in that specific way, it's not going to make sense here. But some people want to pick it because it does have this metaphorical meaning that is pretty close to the idea of a misconception, right? We think that there's water in the desert, but in fact it's just an optical illusion based on the heat waves, and so we are wrong. But I want to remind you how these things work. We're really just looking for the standard, like, textbook definition of the word. You are not trying to be metaphorical here. So if you feel like your word requires that extra step, that extra kind of comparison, metaphor, something that you might do in your English class in school when dissecting a poem, it's probably wrong for this. That is not the task on these questions. You are not trying to rewrite the sentence using a new word. You are trying to capture the definition of the word as best as you can. And so you want your answer choice to kind of just on its face be the right definition, and misconception is just absolutely the best word here. There is no metaphor necessary. It just means illusion in the sense that we think something is true, but it's actually not.